Hi, beautiful people. Welcome back. So, we are going to do a recap and a review of Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 5, Episode 13, titled To Be or Yacht to Be. So, we are still in Destin. We start off the episode. We're still in Destin, Florida, and we see that Melody's mom has arrived and they're getting ready to go out for the day. We have Martell hanging out with the kids and his mom in the living room. They're getting ready to go on a day trip. If you remember in the last episode, Mel told him that she chartered a yacht for the day. So that's what they're getting ready to do. So we have the cameras going back and forth between Melody and her mom and Martell and his mom. And Melody's mom is just asking her, has Martell been behaving himself? How's it been, since just getting here? Let me know what's happened since you guys have been here. And Mel told her basically that he's been behaving himself. They've been having a good time. She didn't have anything to worry about. She said it felt really good not to be in any kind of arguments and stuff like that. And then we go back to Martell and his mom, and she's telling him that, it's really good that they're able to get together like this as a family post-divorce. And she's still really hurt that they didn't make it as a family. So that's what we have going on. Just a little chit chat before they get on the yacht for the day. So now we get to the yacht. Now they left, and everybody get in the car. They get to the yacht, and then they're just like having a good time, just doing the tour, meeting the crew. And then the captain tells them that, they can't cast off just yet because there's a storm coming. And Mel had to let the kids know, they're a little bit disappointed, but they waited it out. They did karaoke while they waited, just talked and stuff like that. And Melody was taking her little jabs at Martell. He was letting it go, and you could see it was starting to get to him until he finally had to tell her, like, you know what? You need to stop because you've been taking jabs at me since I got here. And of course, she has every right to, Martell. She's still hurting. Don't just get over what happened. She's still hurting. So she's going to take some jabs at you. So the captain, like I said, told them that they couldn't leave just yet. They have to wait out the storm. So while they were there on the boat, now we flip to another scene. We have Maurice and Marsau, where Maurice went over to Marsau's house to let him know what was going on with Kimmi. So, Marsau let him know that Tisha did tell him that, there was something going on, but he didn't think it was really that serious. And Maurice let him know that, yes, it is serious. And in a nutshell, he tells him that even though he's the older brother, he doesn't know how to handle this. He's like, we just got married. I think I found my forever. And now there is a potential of her, being taken away from me. Says he's trying to be strong for Kimmi, but it's hard because he's never been through anything like this before. And right now he needs to lean on God more than ever because, it just shows, how mortal we are. The fact that you could be here one day and the next day you're not. So he's letting his brother know that this is how he's feeling, and he's feeling kind of guilty, he says, because when he was asking Kimmi to leave the nursing career and transition into real estate, there was a point there where she was supposed to go have her mammogram done, and the insurance companies that they were switching at the time told them that, oh, you just signed on to this insurance, you can't get it done, just that we won't cover it. So they waited, and she missed that appointment, her initial appointment. So there was some mix-up where she missed the appointment, the insurance wasn't going to cover it, and so on and so forth. So he felt that, they would have caught it sooner because it's a really aggressive type of cancer that she has going on. So they need to get on it right away. So he's feeling kind of guilty. And Marsau told him, don't beat yourself up. And he actually goes in the confessional. He says, he gave like a comparison. He's like, you'll be damned if you have a fire burning in front of you, that you're going to try and figure out who started the fire before you put it out. So, to his point, he's telling Maurice, deal with this now. And later on, if you choose to go back to that and worry about it, worry. So he told him that, let Kimmi, I know you're trying to be strong for Kimmi, but let her know you have to show your vulnerability right now. You can't just hide it. You need to be your authentic self. Let her see what you're going through, even though you're trying to be strong for her. And we could see both of it. They're trying to be strong for each other. Kimmi's trying to put up a brave face in order for her family not to worry so much. And Maurice is kind of feeding off her energy. But they really are handling it, in my opinion, pretty well. Because even though Kimmi is going through it, she's trying to stay strong for everybody, and he's right there to hold her up as well. So they have to do it as a unit, I think. And from what I've been seeing on social media, I saw where Kimmi posted on her Instagram, she finally rang that bell when you've done all your chemo treatment, and then you move on to the next stage. So she was able to ring that bell while she was in the treatment facility. And she went and she gave some really nice acknowledgement to her family and the staff of the facility where she was doing her treatment. So we see that Kimmi has gone through her treatments. So now we're on the next phase of her recovery. So yeah, that was it for Marsau and Maurice. And now the rest of the episode was based on everything that was happening with Melody and her family. So now the storm has passed. They were able to cast off. They had a good time. We see them dancing, play some music. You have Martell and Mel dancing a little bit. Your grandma's dancing and stuff. And then they sat down and they're talking. And it just got a little bit serious. Mel asked Martell's mom, like, how was it that you were able to do it as a single mom, when they were growing up? And she told Melody that, she had to work two jobs, sometimes three. So the kids knew they had to behave, and if they didn't, then when they came home, they got a whooping or whatever she needed to do to keep them in line. And Mel tried to ask her a question about if a kid have a concern and wanted to come to her and stuff. She was like, no, that's considered whining. And then was like, not when they're 7 or 8 years old. That's not considered whining if they're being bullied at school and they come talk to you about it. So Mel says that shows a lot about how Martell grew up and how it transitioned into adulthood, because there's no communication. He did not learn how to communicate effectively when he was a kid. So now that he's an adult, it is showing. So something to that effect, they said. They took a little bit more jabs at each other. Her mom, Miss Vaughn is being very positive, is saying, you know what? You need your family around you. That's all you really have. That comes before anything else. So if you have anything going on outside, make sure you come and you rally around your family. And she was just giving some really nice, just try to keep the mood light and try to keep the mood positive. Her, along with Martell's mom, was doing the same thing, while Mel and Martell was you could see that they were still a little bit uncomfortable with each other. They're trying to find that place where they could be both good, they could be neutral, but it's going to take a little while and give and take, because I think this is the first time that they've actually been together as a family since divorce. So now after the boat ride, they go for family dinner. When they get to the restaurant, Martell has asked that he and Mel sit separately. Yeah, I think he set that up before Mel got there. So he and Mel sitting at a table while Grandma got the kids and at another table across the way. And Mel's face was like, what? This is not how we planned it. I want to sit with my kids. So Martell's like, I really need to talk to you about some stuff. So they sat down. Martell was just asking Mel some questions. And she was on the defense at first. And Martell had to tell her, no, Mel, this is not the type of dinner I want. I don't want no arguing. I want everything to be good for the kids. If for the sake of the kids, let's be good. I'm trying to really talk to you. I'm not trying to fight with you. So they went back and forth for a little bit. He asked Mel what happened between them, why they went their separate way. But initially, before even the other person came into the picture and the child and everything, he's like, he's really trying to figure out where he went wrong when she stopped being intimate with him initially. And he's trying to figure it out so that he won't make the same mistake in his next marriage. That's what he said in the confessional. He didn't say that to Mel. So Mel was like, all right, I'd tell you. And then he cut her off. He didn't allow her to tell him what the issue was. So I'm like, okay, what the heck? You asked her a question, but you don't want the answer? So all right, so she let that go. So then he said, you know what, Mel, I really do owe you an apology. And he was sincere about it. You could tell that he was sincere. He went in, he expanded on it. And like, you really didn't deserve that. I needed to be more upfront with you and needed to talk to you about more. But I guess after the conversation about communication on the boat, then he thought it over. And when they got to dinner, he was like, yeah, I needed to really talk to her more before I went out and did what I did. And he gave her a genuine apology. And Mel was like, you know what, thank you for that. I accept your apology. And I hope that moving forward, we could be more cordial. She's guessing the confessional. She's like, he needs to understand that he and I are over. It will never be. But we could actually be friends. It could be back where we were before. Yes, they got married young. They grew up together. And, I guess they probably just grew apart. Or maybe Mel really has the answer that he wants, but he didn't want it put on camera. So hopefully they could talk about it, otherwise. And he could get the answers that he needs in order to help fix himself or get closure, I should say, before he goes into his next serious relationship. So that was that for this episode. A nice family vacation with Mel and her family. She said the first of many. She spoke to him. No, before they left the next day when they were leaving now, Melody and Martell were sitting and talking. Again, he actually thanked her for inviting him on the trip, that he felt good about it, and that maybe they could do this more often. She let him know that please respect anything I have going forward. Then she tells us that a couple of weeks ago that he crashed a date that she was on. Remember, he did that before, and I think it was in episode 3 where Mel went out to dinner with somebody and Martell came up to them at the restaurant and just interrupted their date. But she said since then he's done it again. She told him, you really need to respect my space and boundaries and know that, we're going to move on with other people. We're going to have to, these people are going to be part of the family. We're going to go places together. You're going to go be together, and you need to respect that. So, yeah. So they had that talk. He agreed, and let's see if he really keeps to it. Now we get to where everybody's leaving. I guess Mel is the last to leave. I think the kids are leaving with Martell. And she's telling them goodbye. And one thing Mel made sure they got... Mel made sure that they got a shot of her walking away. It's like, look at this. This is what you missed there. She had on a little skimpy bathing suit with a see-through cover up. And she's like giving the walk like, yes, this is what you missed it. And she's gone inside. So the cameras, they made sure that they got that on film. So Martell could see, this is it. I'm walking away. This is it. You ain't getting this no more. I'm out. So yeah, that was the episode. They had a really nice family vacation. We have Kimmi and Maurice, yes, still navigating her diagnosis. And I think in next week's episode, we're going to have where they're having another dinner where everyone is coming together, and Kimmi is going to let the rest of she's going to let Martell and Melody know what's going on with her, because Tisha and Marsau already know. So she's going to let them know. So that's where we are with it. I think we're winding down for this season 5 of Love and Marriage Huntsville. So yeah, that's where we at with it. So that is my recap and my review of Love and Marriage Huntsville season 5, episode 13, titled To Be or Yacht to Be. If you're watching / listening to this on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video. And if you're listening to this on my podcast, Reality TV Space with Georgia Denise, be sure to subscribe to the podcast, download and share this episode. And until next time, be sure to take care of yourselves and your families. Bye-bye.